All right, welcome back. It's June now, and the trees are growing a bit, but what's growing more is the bracken and the other plants around the trees. So I've come down today to do more bracken control. For those that have been following the channel for a while, you'll know we did quite a lot of this last year. And as I turn around here, you can see it's growing quite a bit already. Even well, probably after like a month of growth. And generally, it's not growing as like vigorously as it was last year potentially, but it is hard to tell. Maybe it's slightly more patchy. But where it is growing quite thick, like the trees are being completely smothered. So here you can actually see, up here you can see there's some cherry along this slope just here, and they're in a bit where the bracken hasn't regrown. It looks like there's been some soil being put back on there, so that's kind of smothered it. But in the other areas where there's the thicker bracken up here, the trees are kind of quite hidden. And you can see this is actually one of the videos I did last year. I was cutting the bracken on this slope, so yeah, it's definitely looking less vigorous this year, but we still got some problems. And actually, it's actually further along. I'm going to go a bit further to the east to west, and that's where we got the productive broadleafs in the bracken areas. And there, the oaks, when we planted the oaks, they were only like 5 or 10 centimeters high, and they you just can't see them now. And what we should have done is put larger canes in like this, and then we could have seen them, and it would have been easier to then kind of cut the bracken around where the trees are. But that's just that's a learning point, I guess. Or we should have been here earlier when the bracken started growing, and then cut it probably more regularly. And the problem is, of course, when we were doing it last year, you could be quite indiscriminate in some ways. So you could just go through and just kind of hack at the bracken. But now if you do that, you're probably more likely to cut a tree at the same time. So it's kind of slower progress. The only benefit, and we'll see it when we get up there, is that where some of the oak groups were, we've got slightly bigger canes. So at least you can see where the centre of the oak groups are. Because the thing with the oaks is sometimes we have to plant direct, not into mounds. We didn't have enough mounds. So at least in those areas we can know where the trees are a bit denser, and especially if there's no mounds, it's even harder to spot where the trees are, because like here you can probably see, but here you've got well, maybe this is not the best place actually. I'll go a bit further over. So here we've had mounds, and you can kind of see the vegetation around the trees planted in the mounds is not quite so vigorous, so you can kind of see where the trees are. And even in the bracken areas, that's kind of the case. There's not quite so much bracken in those areas. But where there's been no mound and we've direct planted the oaks, it's really hard to spot the kind of some interesting bug. It's really hard to see. And actually, so here is where Hester and Richard have already cut the bracken. So here obviously it looks kind of okay. You can see the oaks here, and one there. Kind of interesting that, yeah, they kind of do look quite different, even though they're the same type of oak. It's going probably from the same seed from the same tree, or at least from the same forest. But actually, I'm going to go a bit higher up. So actually, in this point here, we actually had some gorse, and interestingly, the gorse hasn't even started to try and regrow. So that's good news. But yeah, I mean, obviously here the bracken has been cut already, but you can kind of see this areas, it was kind of patchy. These are kind of grassy bits that have been growing in between, because this bracken was maybe cut in the last 2 weeks. So let's just go scramble up here, see this old gorse bush. That's the cherry tree. Right, getting closer. So this is areas where we haven't done quite so much. So you can sort of see here, it's Actually, I have actually already done a little bit in here, but the bracken is not quite so thick as it was maybe this time last year. But you can see this is a tree here, and that's bracken there. So a tree in that area is not getting much sunlight, so that's why we need to cut the bracken around each tree. And you can see here, like I said, I've already done some, so there's like trees in some of these holes here. But it's kind of a slow process, making sure you don't kind of squash the trees. So I'm going to go over here because I've partly done one of the oak groups, and I'm going to do the other part, kind of show you what's happening. Right. What was that? So right, this is an oak group here. So we've got about 25 trees within a 5-meter radius of this central cane here. So this area I've just done this morning, so you can kind of see, you can see the canes and the volgars probably more easily than the actual oak trees. And then over this side, haven't done it yet, so that's what this area looked like this morning, just this kind of bank of bracken. And obviously a tree that's 20 centimeters high and a bracken that's 40 centimeters high, or well, probably bigger than that now, isn't getting much light. So, and the thing is, it's hard to see the tree, of course. So it's a gentle job of just kind of, yeah, with the foot just going through. So quite labor intensive. I'm trying to find, yeah, here's one here. So now I've found one, I kind of know that within like a meter of it there shouldn't be any others, so we can kind of go around and squash the rest. So yeah, I'm really just, the best thing would be to cut the bracken. Yeah, so we better maybe have some sort of machete maybe, and then they could actually cut it. But without one of those, I'm just kind of squashing it, which probably means it will grow, this book will potentially grow back quicker, but you know, at least getting the light in for the tree. And you've only got, so what is it, the trees basically started growing by, let's say, the beginning of May, and then what, they're going to lose the leaves in September, so they've only got like 5 months to actually growing of the year. So you need to kind of maximize the time they can actually grow for. Right, so that I've just done one, and there'll be, I'm trying to think, 5 meters from there, there's probably going to be one in here somewhere. I've got to go kind of carefully, and yeah, occasionally we'll actually squash a tree, but all the ones I've currently kind of knocked over have been okay. They're kind of at that stage still where they're kind of still fairly supple, so they're not snapping. Okay, right, so there's a tree here, it's not actually an oak tree, so it kind of must be at the edge of the oak circle. So this is a cherry here, which are generally a little bit bigger than the oaks. I think they were a bit bigger when they arrived. Right, so let's we'll go around the circle, see if we can find the next one. So there's one there, so I'm guessing there's one roughly in here. Okay, yep, here we are. Sometimes you see the cane before, well, it's easy as a cane generally sticking up. So yeah, I'm just kind of clearing an area. So this one, yeah, so this one's just like hasn't been planted in a mound because you've got all this vegetation growing around here. So yeah, and then I'm just gonna carry on here. But I think that just kind of gives a bit of a brief oversight of kind of what we're doing at the moment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying following along, and yeah, see you in the next video.